Hello everyone, it is Brooke with the Junk Parlor. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do a little decorating and a tour of my dining room. Now, my decorating style is definitely vintage, layered, and neutrals. So if that is something that appeals to you, I think you are going to love seeing my home. We're going to check out around my sliding glass doors. So I have things to each side of the sliding glass doors and above it. We're going to look at a new fall centerpiece on our table. And then I hung some things over here on the stairway wall. It's leading down to our lower level, which I'm not going to lie, this has been one of the hardest places for me to decorate. And I think one of the reasons is because it's not easily accessible. Like I have to get a ladder, and even borrowing my neighbor's, whatever kind of ladder you call it, I can't think, little giant that can go on the stairs, I still can't reach spaces very easily. So I think that has made part of decorating this space a nightmare for me. So you can check out what I have here this go round. And our home is very much one open space. So you have the kitchen to the dining room to the living room. It's all one big like bowling alley. And so I am really trying to get a curated look in this space. And now we're about little over 2 years in our new home, and we are finally getting there, I feel like. One, I think it takes a little bit of time to just kind of figure out how you use a space, move around a space, what you need in a space or like in a space. And then also I'm always outsourcing. So if I find something better, then I want to switch it out for something that I have. And so that always causes a little bit of decorating change up. And then I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I just get sick of looking at the same thing over and over again. And so I swap it out just out of boredom. I really hope you enjoy my tour. And if you do like my decorating style, which is probably a little bit different than a lot of people's, then please be sure to click the playlist and watch other tours of my house and different things that I have done since we have moved in here. Thanks so much for being here. Enjoy the video.
Okay, so you might be wondering here, what the heck are you doing, Brooke? Well, I really would like to have a cabinet here, and I love this little hardware cabinet that I got, but it's super short, and so I wanted to set it up on like a bench, and this bench is about the only thing that I have that's the right size, although I definitely think it's too tall. And I don't really want to cut the legs down, even though I could totally do that. So I'm really just kind of playing. I like to live with something for a little bit before I make an opinion. I was really thinking I'd like to have a bar area, and so I flipped the top open, set bottles in there. I didn't necessarily like it because the inside of this cabinet has a weird like curve to it. And so then I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep the door open and have a flat surface, because with the door shut, it's slanted. But even with the door open, it's still slanted. And so I can set some bottles there, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it, and I didn't want to cut the stool legs, like I said. So I'm going to try plan B. So it's very hard to notice, and you really can't see it from straight on, but these window panes are all white on the other side. So you can see just a little bit of paint over on this one, and that's why I actually put it here on this side, because you'll notice the second one, there is a lot more white on the edge. And I have had these here, then I've taken them down and switched them out, and then I've put them back, obviously, because it seems to be the best thing here. You know, I like it the most out of anything I've tried. But I've always had on my agenda to sand off the paint, at least here on the outer borders. Here on the inside, it doesn't bother me so much. And it would just be a lot of work to try and get it out. There are some spots, I guess, up here that are a little bit more noticeable. But what I really want to get is the edge. So since we're working on the dining room today, we are going to take these down and sand them. So maybe this is something no one would even notice but myself, but it looks so much better. Such a simple thing to do. I have been looking for pictures to coordinate with these two old canvases for forever. I finally found something, but it's small and petite, and I'm just kind of showing you how good they look together. So on the other side, I'm thinking that I want to hang turtle shells. A lot of times you'll see that I'm going to videotape myself holding something up, and then I can see if I like it or not. And in this case, I just propped up my phone and now it is falling down the stairs. Luckily, it wasn't broken. Here are the hydrangea freshly cut from my neighbor's bush.
Yesterday, I was working on the kitchen decor, and I ended up just bringing over this picture that I tried out on the kitchen island. And like I mentioned in that video, I basically brought up a bunch of stuff thinking I would use it somewhere, and then I just kind of left it because I had to clear off the area a little bit when the family got home. I brought this mirror up thinking that I could maybe put it on the kitchen island or here on the table, but because of the hanging mechanism, it's not going to sit level. I thought I still had a pedestal one in the in my bedroom, but I didn't. So I stole one from my built-ins, and then I'm just going to put this one there and the one from the built-ins here, because this one is much smaller, lighter. I don't even know if that actually is a hanger. Looks dangerous, but it is crazy, crazy lightweight. So I think that one is going to be good. And it does have a little bit of a brass frame. I think it's probably a plastic one. So we might just do this lower hydrangea, these fake pumpkins that I thought we might do on the kitchen island, and we'll do them here. So I think that looks good. And then I can always slide things off if I need to, you know, when we have family meals. And these colors, I just can't get over the colors. Love, 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 love. Okay, I've kind of slowed down and passed up some little butter pat presses. I started by just putting these in an apothecary jar, and then when I thought I had enough, I arranged them here on top of our slider. There's only a couple of them with paper. I don't know if I want it in or out. I think I'm going to put it in. But I could smush them together, but I really only have room for about 3 more. And I think it's just a fun way to display your collection. I'm not actually sure where I got this idea, but on a pic, a girl had, I want to say, and I could be wrong, but like Lego characters, just like a couple on top of some different doors in her house. And I thought it was so cute. She might have also had some of those little trophy bowling pin things. But since then, I've always kind of thought, ooh, what could I put on top of my trim other than you know, doing another old antique piece of trim or architectural detail, which I've done that before. So I have really struggled with what to put here in this little area. I would like a small little cabinet or like a beverage cart or something, but I just can't find anything. So I have quite a few plants and plant stands and stools. I buy too many stools, and I wasn't really sure where to put them. So we're going to try them out here. This is basically also where we keep Bella's food and water. And I pretty much have to have it here, I feel like, because I could put it over here at the end of the island, but I keep a little stool there that we use, like if we need to get access to a cabinet, or I just sit on it, especially if my phone's charging because the charger's right there. And it's my grandma's, and she kind of always just randomly had it in her kitchen. I randomly had it in the kitchen at our last house, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I just feel like I want to just have that there. So otherwise, I really don't know where to put it. We keep her food in the cabinet right here beside us, in the kitchen. The laundry room would be a place, but it's not that big, and we normally keep the door shut. And there isn't really a spot in my bedroom that I want to feed and water her either. So I feel like this is kind of it. I love using this rug sample for like keeping her stuff safe, but I'm almost ready to retire it, wash it, use it somewhere else, and get something smaller. We use our wedding china for her dog bowls because you've probably seen me talk about this a lot and post about this a lot, but my grandma always said, use all those things, don't save them, because you're going to save them and then you die and you never did use them and then no one wants them after you. So we had not used our wedding china for probably 12, 15 years. So I decided, hey, we're just going to use it for everyday dishes and including the dog in that. I have looked a little bit at the thrift store and debated on getting like a smaller set so it didn't take up so much room. So I think that's one of the main reasons that I'd like to switch out the rug. I would like something rectangular versus a square. So we'll see. This plant stand, I got it back when we were in Centerville, and I think it's actually a table, but it's a little wobbly, even on the wood floor, carpet really bad. There's little like pieces here, so I think it's supposed to be a table and have a little like, you know, chunk of marble or chunk of something on the inside, glass. But that has been missing since I got it, and I haven't found anything that I like on top of it, probably partially because it's just simply so wobbly that it makes me nervous to set anything on there because I feel like it's going to get knocked over. But I do have a nice plant outside that I think would be complementary to this other plant, which I don't know. I think it's some kind of spider plant. I am not plant inclined. Okay, but this one sits in there, but it makes me a little bit nervous. So I got some some plates from a friend, and ooh, it's gonna fit. Still a little scary. I probably should get some of my felt pads dug out and put it probably only needs to go on one side, maybe two sides. It'd be a little bit more stable. Okay, so that doesn't look bad, I think, with the clock. I don't know if you can see everything. It doesn't look bad with the clock because I thought I wanted to do turtle shells around this. I have two. I didn't like how it looked. I thought maybe I wanted to hang up the pronghorn mount. It's too big. I need something smaller. I've been looking for roe deer mounts for probably a year, and I haven't found any. Or if I found some, they've been more expensive than I want, or they just don't look how, like, I'd be more inclined to pay for something if it was exactly what I wanted. But if it's just something that's then I might use it, buy it cheap, use it until I find what I really want. But none of those scenarios have actually happened. So I do like the clock. I like the dark on the cabinet, dark on the clock. I like because I have light and dark wood everywhere. I have clocks everywhere. And I did think about moving the clock by the front door over here and doing that clock collage here on this wall, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I have not found any more art except for the art that I put in the mudroom, which I'll link that video for you down in the description and then maybe up here. But go watch that one because that art goes perfectly. However, it's only one little piece, so I need something else. But anyway, I do like the clock here. I do like this. It's kind of your grouping of 3, but I have more plants and I have another stool. So let's see what a third one looks like. So when I am laying things out, I'm always thinking kind of like a bird's eye view. From the ceiling per se, it should be like a triangle. And I want to make sure that, you know, I have as much walkway as I want. I don't really want plants over here on the counter in case I'm doing food prep. We have to leave room for Bella's dog bowl. And I don't want the plants all encroaching and touching on each other. So in this McCoy planter, I had some other plant, I think that my girlfriend Hillary gave me. And this is another one that really needs some moss around it. But I did just insert it because I didn't want to ruin the McCoy planter. And if I want to sell it someday, I don't want to spend like a day cleaning it. So I like this. I feel like we need a little bit of color difference here. And I think this one, this kind of pot needs a drip tray. So let's just grab a white plate. It's too heavy just to lift it up and slide under. So I like the height, the angle and the height difference between these two, if that makes sense. This one has 3 legs, so you can kind of bend them a little bit differently. Not bend, angle them differently. And then this is one of the few places in the house also that gets decent light, like all the time. I'm just trying to nest them in there a little bit further back. Probably as the snake plant grows, I'm going to have to move things around a little bit. And I almost feel like I probably need to stake this one because it's looking like it's going to go cattywampus. So really, I need a smaller little, oh, we've got quite a few gnats I've just found here in the last hour. I just think that it needs something smaller for the dog bowl. You know how I have been struggling with what to hang around this clock because I do want to hang something. And this wall has had the most variation in decor out of any spot in this entire house. So there are literally hundreds of nail holes. So eventually I need to fill these holes and paint this section. But look what I picked up thrifting. It was at a flea market shop is what I call it. Now I have had the pendulum going. I haven't even tried to set the clock or anything. You can hear the clock ticking, but the pendulum eventually stops pendling, whatever, moving. But now I know what I want to buy. I'm just going to buy some smaller, it doesn't even look even, level. I'm going to buy some smaller will it correct itself? I'm going to buy some smaller clocks. Even honestly, just these two I like. I don't know. It's like when you find something and you're like, I love it. That's how I feel right now. So this is how we are going to be. And then it'll just kind of evolve as I'm out thrifting and sourcing and antiquing and finding all the things. I do have a flea market coming up. Watch your flea market. So hopefully I'll find some goodies there. And if you haven't gone to Watch Here, I do have multiple videos. I normally record at least a little bit every time I am there, so you can go check that out. But it is definitely worth a road trip.
Hey, I found this and decided that I might want to layer it underneath the picture. I love this piece. It's almost like, I mean, it is a sliver of wood, I think, but it's like, feels like cork. So I've wanted to use it many times and just couldn't figure out how I wanted to use it. So I thought, oh, this might be a good place for it. These little cuties I picked up when I was at Brass Armadillo and I hung them, but one of them, the hanger is not letting it hang level. So I couldn't find my putty, but I did find some double-sided tape, so I am using that to hold it in place.
Thanks so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you being here, leaving me your comments. giving me that thumbs up. It really means a lot. I really hope you are a subscriber and that you've rung that bell so that you get notified the next time a video comes out. And if so, I will see you then.